Bloody scum. Scum the earth. Scum.
I just spoke to him at the beginning, and I was trying to talk to him and be polite. He just went, oh, sorry.
Scum the yum dum dum.
He's a complete dick. Right, that's something.
Are you okay, or did you want?
I'd rather not. I'd rather not, to be honest.
Well, it's a public street.
Right.
Wait, 1 second. What are you going to ask him?
What about that camera?
Oh, well, that's why firstly, I'll ask why you're here today. Yeah?
Fuck the BBC.
Okay.
Madness.
All right, so tell me, why you come here today? What do you seek to achieve?
I seek to achieve today.
Yeah.
Well, I would have liked a discussion with Tom Robinson about his beliefs, about what he's calling for. He's linking grooming gangs with Islam, and you know, I think that's very disingenuous. I do believe that Tom Robinson hasn't broken any crime. For this case he's going to court for, I don't think he's broken any crime. That's a Muslim saying that. Like, vehemently disagrees with him saying that, and I wanted to say that to him as well. That I don't believe that he broke any law. Even if you look at people reporting his case, they're technically doing the same thing that alleging he's doing, you know, by defamation. And similarly, if it's against the law what Tom Robinson did, then it's against the law. It's against the law to report what report Anjan Chowdhury's case, for example. You know, because I believe that had a very detrimental effect on what the jury said regarding his case and against other Muslims as well.
And how do you feel about Anjan Chowdhury's imminent release from prison?
You know what? Yeah, the thing is, it's not about. As a Muslim, I support Islam. I support the Muslims, you know, and I think that the Muslims are being oppressed.
The only way in the life, there is no way to the Father except through Jesus, not Muhammad, not Allah. Jesus Christ, yeah, he's for the children.
The thing is,
Come on, give your life to Jesus.
Anjan Chowdhury is getting released, alhamdulillah, that's all good. But the thing is, like a Muslim, when he's in prison, you're getting so much rewards, so much. And the day of judgment, those days in prison, those seconds in prison, are going to be so much valuable in the eyes of Allah, in the sight of Allah. So it's a good thing. Prison if you're going for the truth, but if it's a bad thing, you're going for something bad. For example, these grooming gangs, these people that take advantage of women, that's disgusting, you know. And we condemn that as a Muslim community. There's nothing in Islam that promotes that kind of stuff, getting women drunk and stuff like that.
But many people would say that. Sorry, many people would say that Anjan Chowdhury's behaviour, in a sense, is a form of grooming, ideological grooming. For example, the parents of breast blame for their child being in.
You just watch him until he does something, and then you get him. What you say?
So if you look at the society that we live in now, many people are groomed for other things. Like they've got the games consoles that are grooming the minds of people. You have the music industry that's grooming the minds of people. You have many things that are grooming the minds of people. What people need to understand is, okay, you need to have a standard. If you're going to say that Anjan Chowdhury is grooming people just for speaking, then you have to stop everyone else from speaking. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. What is the definition of grooming? Yeah? And then that definition, you can apply it to everyone. You can apply it to the media. You know, your propaganda machine is probably going to be used, is used on a daily basis against Muslims, against Islam, against the Muslim community.
So how do you feel about Anjan Chowdhury's release from prison? Is that a good thing? Is that what's your thinking about it?
Yeah, to be honest, any Muslim that gets released from prison is good, you know, because you can be with his family, etc. But at the same time, a Muslim, our duty is to speak the truth, and you know, not to worry about the consequences of speaking the truth. And if that can mean prison, that can mean anything. And alhamdulillah, that's the situation.
And have you been in contact with him? Have you written to him? While he's been in prison?
At the end of the day, when Anjan Chowdhury is released, you can speak to him as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the main thing we should focus on is democracy and the Sharia. Okay. Because the democracy system.
How about giving Tommy Robinson?
I'm just asking about Anjan.
So you hear this rhetoric? This is Tom Robinson's supporters.
Sure.
This is the situation. You're talking about Anjan Chowdhury. Anjan Chowdhury didn't say this stuff.
No, absolutely. And we've recorded a lot of material today. Just because I saw you, I just thought I'd specifically ask, because our last conversation was specifically about Anjan Chowdhury. I just thought I would ask, you know, in general terms, I hear what you said in wider terms, but specifically, you know, how do you this moment approaching, which he will be able to prisons, talk of him being some sort of safe house, perhaps having restricted access to people he knows. I mean, what do you think of all of that, and about the conditions in which he finds to release and
I think it's hypocrisy, because if you look at free speech, there's free speech in this country. Like, there's many people, for example, there's many people that go speak at school now, and they speak about anything they want. They can speak anything they want, and because they want to celebrate their freedom of speech. But when it comes to the Muslim community, it seems like we don't have freedom to speak our mind. We can't speak about anything because we're brainwashing people. You know, there was even one law or something, act that came into power, or there's some enforcement where certain people are allowed to preach in universities because certain people might get brainwashed. I mean, that's an insult to people at university that people ain't got a mind to think. You know, saying like this woman, like she's saying that I shouldn't be able to speak because people are gonna get brainwashed by what I say. This is ridiculous. No, I should be able to speak what I want. Just like Tom Robinson should be able to speak what he wants, you know what I'm saying?
So you think when Andrew Chowdhury is released, despite his conviction, he should be allowed to say what he wants, he should be allowed to preach, he should be allowed to return to the life that he had beforehand?
Yeah, I think the thing with Andrew Chowdhury, he's exposed a problem with the law system. He's exposed a massive problem, which is you can speak as long as it agrees with what we say. You can speak as long as you don't cross the boundary. So even if you look at Andrew Chowdhury, if you go back and look at Andrew Chowdhury's first hearing after he's charged, the prosecution said,
Tommy Robinson!
But the law aside, the law's not going to change.
Tommy Robinson! Tommy Robinson!
Do you think that his freedom of expression should be restricted in any way?
Carry on, mate, carry on.
So
just one last question. Given his conviction, once he's released next month, should he...
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you on this question?
No, hang on.
It's going to come to this.
Answer him.
I'll have to...
Let me just... Because it's important.
No.
Has there anyone that's gone to prison in this country that has been innocent?
What's your views on sex with children? What's your views on sex with children?
Yeah, I mean,
What's your views on sex with children? I think it's too late.
Does he look like it? He won't answer the question.
This is our country.
He's an ISIS supporter. He's an ISIS supporter that goes to Speaker's Corner and won't condone ISIS. He gets asked a question every week. He's an ISIS supporter.
This guy's just been singing support.
I'll speak to you in a minute.
This is one more question. One more question. So just one more question. Given his conviction, I'm interested to hear what you think about whether his right to interact with his associates should be restricted as opposed to be what's likely to happen.
Go away, please.
What terrorism has he done?
You're what's wrong with this country. I'm
What
sorry.
terrorism has he done?
No, you are.
What terrorism has he done? Come on.
He says it's racist.
Yeah, come on, give us an example.
She's a commie. She's got a hammer and sickle. She's a communist. She's a communist as well. She's an ISIS supporter.
One last clarification. But the law is the law at the moment and isn't going to change by the time he's released from prison. Do you think you're saying it's wrong for his ability to interact with associates? You think it would be wrong for that to be restricted?
The government are going to do what they want to do, isn't it? Like, I'm not here to dictate to the government. They can do what they want.
But what's your opinion? What is your opinion?
He's down Speaker's Corner every week and he gets pulled
On those likely restrictions?
It's up to them. They can do what they want. You know,
They're now everyone else.
They're going to continue to do what they because their main thing is, we don't want to have. If you look at any book on sociology on how governments are fallen in the past, okay. If you have a government that's not fulfilling the needs of the people like this country, it's not fulfilling the needs of people. The only way that government can stay in power is by convincing people that there's no superior alternative. and the superior alternative is being echoed by Andrew Chowdhury year after year, and other Muslims, which is the Sharia.
Okay, so you're giving me a theological answer to a legal question.
That's the answer, because that's why the government doesn't want people speaking about a superior alternative to democracy, and that's why it's going to be restricted.
But I'm asking you narrowly about your opinion about the restrictions likely to be imposed.
My opinion is irrelevant. You know, I'm a Muslim. I just follow.
But you're a friend of irrelevant, mate. So I'm interested to hear.
It's irrelevant what I think. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, what it is, alhamdulillah, is if you'd be out of prison, he's going to be with his family, and I wish him all the best, And but the thing is, people need to look at the underlying problem in society, which is the man-made systems. It's not helping anyone. People.
And will his needs add energy to his cause? He had a lot of support.
His cause is Islam. That's why a lot of people gravitate to him and speak like Andrew Chowdhury, because he's been speaking about Islam.
And will people continue to gravitate towards him? Will people continue to gravitate towards him?
Well, people gravitate to Islam. That's why I'm very
gravitate to the person.
Oh, Tommy, Robin!
Right here.
Tommy, Robin!
Yeah. There's a lot of
Keep going. We're right in front of business. We're right in front of the pub.
There's a lot of Muslims that are, alhamdulillah, very knowledgeable. And whenever there's a knowledgeable sheikh and sincere, alhamdulillah, a Muslim will study with him. And you can start thinking stop it.
Okay.
And so it's not, the issue isn't Andrew Chowdhury. This is what the media needs to stop. Maybe Andrew Chowdhury will come out and say, look, I did certain things wrong. Maybe I did certain things right. It's not the standard. Even the people, even the great scholars of the past, like Ibn Taymiyyah, it's not the standard. The standard for the Muslim belief is the Quran, the Sunnah, and what the companions agreed upon.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yo, Abdul Hakeem, this is one of the first interviews from coming.
with sex with children.
Go on.
You start.
Right. We've got mass grooming gangs raping kids. Authorities don't seem to do too much about it.
Can you do me a favour and take this to the open area at the top? You spend as long as you like talking then. All you're doing is creating a danger to people.
Danger zone.
Lead the way.
He stole my phone number. Man stole my phone number. Man like ITV.
Abdul Hakeem, talk to us, G. It seems as though that you've been gone for some time.
Yeah.
Can you let the community know, where have you been, and are there any restrictions on you in terms of filming? And is this one of the only chances we're going to get of you? So go ahead.
No, go ahead, but keep talking that way.
So right. Anyway, alhamdulillah.
Yep.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Who's this guy?
How you brother, right?
Alhamdulillah.
Hey, how come you didn't call your brother?
So first of all, I invite everyone to Islam. Islam, the true religion of Abraham, Moses, all the prophets of God. So I invite you to Islam. And I invite you to worship one God alone, inviting your partners, inviting your associates. If you look at every single prophet, he used this message, a fundamental message. Including the Prophet Muhammad is the final message of God. And it's a obligation of mankind to follow him as the final message.
No, not really. I just came down because I heard something was going down. I've got a day off. So. What? Yeah, but I haven't put anything on there because I'm too lazy to edit.
This is facts.
How long have you been there then?
It's like 4 months, I think.
People should look into
No, not really. I'm just filming.
The Quran, other books. Look into
I just got here
don't look at propaganda.
half an hour ago.
So Tommy Robinson's a propagandist. He talks about Islam, about studying religion.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Can you tell us where have you been for the last few weeks? You've been missing from the speakers.
I don't know. I didn't really see much.
Missing from the web, the internet, on YouTube and so forth. So could you let us know, like, where have you been? And I'll continue questioning you after that. Go ahead. Abdul Hakeem, come and talk to us.
Sex for children. What's your views on it, and is it allowed in your
We're gonna get to the
culture?
let's get to the open air first, okay?
Right?
Okay, we're almost there. So Abdul Hakeem, can you answer the question I asked? Yeah, don't worry about that one for now. Can you answer the question I've asked you?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what happened to me, but something obviously happened. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And so something happened to me. Certain things happened. And yeah.
So may I, unfortunately, if you cannot speak on it, I've been told if you could confirm that you was arrested a few months back and you possibly spent 3.5 weeks in prison. Can you confirm or deny that?
No comment to that.
No comment.
Why are you walking
And also,
around? If you're on the terrorist hit list, why are you walking around?
also, can you confirm and deny that you've been given restriction orders not to communicate with certain individuals? Okay. And could you also confirm or deny?
Officer Kalam.
Yeah. Can you also confirm or deny? You've been given restrictions to appear on any videos.
We don't need to walk no more, fam. I certainly
No
can't park
comment.
now.
All right.
You should be banged up, mate, in prison.
I don't mind.
You're on the
I don't really
terrorist
mind prison.
Brother, do you know what it is? If he's done something wrong, then I agree with you. But so far he hasn't broken any laws at present. So let's treat him like a proper citizen. That is true. But unless he commits a crime, let's not mistreat
Are
him.
we friends or not friends?
Sorry?
Are we friends?
It depends, innit? Like you're asking me questions about paedophilia.
Check.
So let's talk first.
Shake hands then.
Let's talk first.
Shake hands.
Let's talk first.
Shake hands.
What, with the terrorists?
No.
He won't shake your hand, mate. He won't shake your hand.
Shake my hand then.
You might as well get your
Shake my hand,
fucking...
please.
Get your dick out, he might shake
I'm
it.
begging you as a friend of this community to shake my hand. You don't shake hands. Why? Is it because I'm non-Muslim?
It's my prerogative. I don't.
Yeah, but
But it's
because of your
extremely rude
because
to shake a man's hand when he offers it to you, especially
my
when
hand.
it's offered to you in
what is
friendship.
your
I
religion?
wash my hands whenever we wee.
What is your religion?
When I understand who you are,
To guess, I'd probably say Muslim. Would I be wrong?
I'm Muslim.
Well, so I've actually
And these are the terrorists.
got you to say that you're Muslim. So,
Oh, no.
how's about shaking your hand? What about you?
Is that his name? Shake
I said no, bro.
Is that his name?
No problem. No problem.
No
problem.
You're not
We do fist bumps.
No, I don't do fist bumps.
See,
You're
that's
rude.
That's
Racist against handshakes.
No, I do. I shake hands. Shake hands. Shake hands.
We got a culture clash right
I'm
now.
friends
We got a
with
culture clash.
everybody. Shake hands.
We got a culture clash right now.
Shake hands. Shake hands.
No, mate, he's got
You, what I'll class as probably going extremist.
Vinegar Chris, mate, don't shake his hand.
What's
We got a
your
culture clash.
views on sex with children?
I believe that it should be punished by them.
Right. So why aren't you out on the streets with us about these Muslim gang rapes that's been raping
But he ain't
British
done himself
children
no
for
favours
last
by not
20,
shaking a
30
man's
years?
hand.
Why aren't you with me condemning them?
We live in a polite society.
I'm
We
against
are all the same. To refuse to shake a man's hand is rude. It's just rude.
I see you up in Speaker's Corner, I think.
Yeah, I've been on everyone since bloody, was it March, April? It was snowing, wasn't it, when we first started? Now we're almost in winter again. I have to get the winter woolies out. Bye.
And he's on the terrorist hit list.
Watch this.
Yeah, mine he banged up.
You're doing it to white British kids or coloured British kids. So long as they're not Muslim, they're basically getting raped. And it's okay in your culture to do so. Is it not? Condemn it then.
Yeah, of course I can do it.
And what would you do to them people?
No, under Islam.
Well,
Alright, let me speak.
all right, under Islam, but,
Alright, let me speak.
but we're in England.
Alright, okay. Cool.
I don't care if it's Roman Catholic,
This is a monologue or a dialogue?
any type of Christianity that allows their people to rape kids, then to me that religion needs destroying.
Okay, where
It
does...
shouldn't even be allowed because the children come before you, they come before me, they come before anybody else in this country.
I just told you that in Islam, there's a punishment for the paedophiles.
Right.
And it's death.
So why aren't you sorting the problem out?
Do why are you sweating the problem?
You've got a massive problem in the Muslim community, gang raping kids.
Yeah.
You're allowing it. You're not condoning it.
I don't think
6, 7, 8-year-olds are being raped. They're
You
being
know,
drugged.
or don't you think that's happening? Do you know it's happening, or don't you?
Alright, let me speak.
Do you know that kids are getting raped by
Alright,
Muslim
alright,
culture in this country?
Alright, let me speak. Yeah? Now, a Muslim might do something wrong, yeah? But Islam doesn't say none of that.
Is that just something wrong, raping kids?
Let me speak. Yeah?
It's the most despicable act I can even think of in English culture.
Yeah. Let me speak. Yeah? Now, first of all, you've got to take care of your emotions, because I'm about to say things that's going to really, might.
That can't,
You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't
so
ruin my...
you need to have thick skin from what I'm about to say, yeah?
I've got thick skin, mate.
Yeah. So,
But what it is I know kids haven't. So somebody's got to protect them kids. And if your community
this is what I want to get
is the
to.
Muslim community that seems to be the main downfall of ruining these kids.
Yeah, this is what I want to get to. Yeah? These children, yeah, that have been raped and stuff, yeah, do they have parents?
Some of them have got some parents, some are probably in care.
Exactly. But do some of them have parents?
Some of them will. They might come from a underprivileged background.
Because what it is, yeah.
And that's where they're getting taken advantage
Islam,
of, because they've got other people not to stick up.
Yeah, cool. You know, with these grooming gangs, yeah, the thing we have a Muslim community, we take things ourselves. I don't believe Islam doesn't support the idea of going to the police. We do our own problems. So when it comes to like these grooming gangs, let me say something. Yeah? When it comes to these grooming gangs, many of them, in fact, I haven't seen one case where there's been someone who has actually been someone very knowledgeable in Islam and raped kids.
They have.
Okay.
Put it this way: in the latest ones that's
righteous Muslim.
In the latest ones,
yeah, go on.
Mainly Pakistani Muslim community, it has been.
No, I'm not talking about.
No, I'm
not talking
saying
about
that's
because you can get a
because
Pakistani.
we've even got doctors and surgeons that's been involved in this, and they haven't even been in court.
Yeah.
For their acts, what they've
Anyway,
done.
this is all red herrings, yeah? This all red herrings.
Red herrings. I'm talking about
it is,
children.
yeah, because we're talking about cases, we're not talking about specifics. I'm telling you that people like Edward Heath, the previous Prime Minister, he's been got involved in paedophilia.
He's dirty nonce, isn't he? Dirty nonce.
There's MPs that
dirty nonsense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But on a
Jimmy
mass
Savile.
scale,
No. That's what I'm trying to say to you. On a mass scale, this thing's happened. If you look at the
this is happening.
Listen.
This is happening on independent report. And do you know one independent report which did it in Rotherham about the gang rapes grooming scandal? The independent inquiry had to stop the independent inquiry because they were taking it as if they carried it on, they'd be discriminating against the Pakistani Muslim community. So the independent inquiry stopped doing the inquiry because they knew that they were going to be classed as basically against the Pakistani Muslim community, because everything they found out was the Pakistani Muslim community.
So Abdul,
why are you campaigning for Sharia then?
No,
I'm saying to you that
what can Muslims do to prevent these types of grooming gangs?
Change the law, change the system. The system is the problem.
No, I'm talking about amongst themselves. Because you're saying that Muslims don't actually, go to the police or anybody else against other Muslims. So what can they do with inside of their community to stop or prevent this from actually happening? Or if it is happening and it's of their knowledge, what can they do?
What they do.
What do you do?
But
what
can
you
do it.
What do you do?
You said what you do.
No. He hasn't said what you do.
He said you stick a brush up.
No. He said that's what Sharia would. That's on the Sharia. That's not what you would do as a Muslim. What would you do?
Me as an individual, you have to be wise. You can't look at branches. You have to look at the foundation. Once you change the foundation, then everything else will fall into place.
So basically, you're saying you will let it continue until you have Sharia law in this country.
It's not about letting it continue. If I see it happening, then things will happen.
But you already said if you see things happen, you wouldn't report
I don't want to say on camera.
You wouldn't. You said if somebody got in a car and he were a Muslim and he mowed down, said these people, a Muslim come, mowed down all these people, you would not tell them that person.
What do you mean? The man's done it, so how can I tell him? It's already done.
If you had foreknowledge.
This is a logical question.
Yeah. I would. I'd put a stop to it. I'd stand in front of that car myself first.
No, don't say that, bro. I don't have no far right.
Anyway, like I said, my thing is campaigning for the Sharia, because the Sharia says death for the paedophile. That's what I'm doing. So I don't think it's in branches, because you can't solve all the crimes. But if you change the system and you have it where, look, there's a death penalty. If you do these things, there's a death penalty for you, even if you upload it. Because remember,
but don't forget, under Sharia law, a lot of this only works for the Muslims.
I understand what you're saying.
If they're a non-Muslim that they're doing these atrocities to, it's classed as basically that's a tart or a slag. Well, that is from some other versions.
I think you need to study, man.
People, they've said basically, if that girl is not a Muslim, whatever happens to her, she deserves.
That's not true.
That is what is happening though. That is what is happening though.
Yeah, so there's nothing in Islam that promotes this grooming stuff. I told you that already, and we condemn this, yeah? But what I'm trying to say to you people...
Yeah, but you'll never get Sharia law until we can stamp out this other problem.
Here's my problem with you, yeah?
The problem wouldn't be a problem if this problem wasn't happening.
And
the terrorist acts that's following.
You are getting read and stuff like that about...
I don't... Put it this way, mate. I do not buy papers. I do not believe.
Let me know when I can tag. Let me know when you can tag me in, all right? I want to tag. I want to be tagged in.
So you're not focused on the white man that's raping babies.
I'm focused on them children at the minute.
You're not focused on the white man that's raping babies. And you got a problem with
it. Hold on. Anybody that rapes them wants crucifying. Anything they want to do to them, to me, they could do to them. I ain't got a problem.
So why are you campaigning against this? This is an epidemic.
Because the mass rapes with children at this minute is the Muslim community that's doing it.
The epidemic is with white people.
No.
The epidemic is white. Do you want to go to statistics? You want to go to statistics?
You look your own statistics, pal.
Who's raping babies on a bigger scale, on a major scale in this country?
Muslims to me.
This is a blatant lie.
Well, times Rotherham, 1,500 lasses up to knowledge got raped.
Are you telling me, yeah?
I'm saying 1,500 girls got
Muslims,
raped. And Muslims did it, yes.
I'm talking about babies.
And then it got covered up by all authorities. And now authorities don't want to open a big kettle of worms because some of these people that's been involved in it for so long have got eye into the ranks of the whatever Labour Party, governments, and all these systems, social services, everything. Yeah. But when these children are getting raped from Muslims to British children or English or anything, I'm trying to not put it as a prejudice though, but children, when they get raped, you get a social service going into that household and they tear that household to bits. We haven't seen nothing going into the Muslim households and ripping their household to bits because they've been raping kids.
What's your solution
There's thousands
finish?
In them households that should have been took away.
What's your solution?
What they're coming from.
What are you calling for?
I'm calling for basically the stopping of kids getting raped by Muslims and any other person in fact. But there is a mass problem at the minute with the Muslim community raping children. And it doesn't happen, it doesn't seem to be fought against in your community. You say you're thingy, but you don't go out and chastise any Muslims that's been raping kids. You say you'd stick a... But is that if it's only a Muslim kid that they do it? Is that if it's only a Muslim child?
Why does it say this about if it's only a Muslim kid?
I'm just saying, is it... Yeah, but you're saying that you're against it.
Look, we're going around in circles here. What's your solution? Because I said the Sharia is a solution for me.
No,
what's your solution?
For me.
Because is it democracy?
Mine is to wipe all system clean, strip it back to bare,
then
and put people that will stop this in power rather than have the people.
Yeah, but what are they going to rule by?
What are they going to rule by? And not allow, and just allowing it.
What are they going to rule by? What are they going to rule by?
They're going to rule by right and wrong.
No, what they're going to rule by?
They're going to rule by right and wrong of this country, not right and wrong by your religion.
All right. So, brother,
it's got to stand for every religion.
Definitely. Let me just quickly tag myself in, right? So, Abdul Hakeem, right? I really want you to breathe some confidence inside of the British public right now.
Why you got 1-0 longer than...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, I would really love for you to breathe.
Right. So we'll check on it.
Can we nudge? I didn't nudge.
No, I don't do that because To me.
Do you know what it is? I work in the building site.
All right.
A lot of people just.
All right.
I'll take it. You can make it as an excuse. I know why.
Okay. All right. Let me come through to you. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I would really love.
Well, if I don't shake my right one, how's about me shake my left one? We all right?
Can we just nudge? I can nudge you, yeah.
No.
You want to shake hands like for real?
I'll shake my left hand.
This could be like abuse,
with your right one.
All right. All right. Let me come in, please. Let me come in. Like our audience really want to get to the bottom of this. Okay. So I really want to know, like, can you breathe some type of confidence into the British public right now, right? As a Muslim, right? Because you've already stated that Muslims, which is a daunting prospect, don't actually, tell on other Muslims when they're about to do something horrendous. They don't, confront them and go to the authority when they're actually grooming children.
But I don't.
So hold on. I want to know, like, what would you do, okay? And the Muslim community, what can the Muslim community do as a whole to kind of prevent child groomings from taking place inside of their community?
I didn't say that we don't confront them. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I didn't say that you don't confront them. I'm saying, what would you do? What can you do? Give us some type of like hope that the Muslims are actually doing something. Because so far, as we can see, we can't see them doing anything, right? So what can you do, and what has been
only
done?
Joining them. All we can see is more and more Muslims joining.
And I'm talking about on an imminent basis, not the long haul. So give me something that you can do if somebody is grooming a child, right, or a group of people grooming a child. What can you do?
What is grooming?
I'm asking you, what can you do?
Being nice to that girl, probably getting her drunk, getting her drugs, and then raping her. And then filming it, and then telling her that if she doesn't come out again, this is going to go viral.
So what can you do? Go on.
Let me explain something.
It's a pity we didn't have one of them.
Hold on. This is going to be controversial. This is one of the things that I don't get when people condemn Muslim Patrol for. Because Muslim Patrol would have dealt with these kind of issues. Like Muslim Patrol would have gone to grooming gangs, we was going to pimps, we was going to drug dealers, and we would have gone to these grooming gangs, you know what I'm saying? But when there's no...
Yeah, but no, it's been done.
Are you doing that? Are you doing that? Are you
But
doing that with inside of the non-Muslim community or inside the Muslim community itself?
No, in the Muslim community and the non-Muslim.
Okay.
Society involves Muslims and non-Muslims.
Okay. So did you have any type of records of these types of encounters?
We don't keep records.
Have you got any specifics from whichever Muslim grooming nationality that these people have come from?
These are red herrings.
All right, brother.
The
problem is
I hear you. Might wind down to one or two separate.
I hear you. Give me 5 minutes with him. Can you give me just 5 minutes with him? I just need you to hold your tongue for 5 minutes, my brother. Okay, so can you give us like a case study, like a case where you actually confronted a Muslim gang on anything?
If you look at these Muslim gangs that happen, obviously I haven't looked at them in too much detail, but what I understand from what the guy's saying and what the media
I'm talking about your.
Let me say something. Is that obviously women are getting drunk. Sometimes, sometimes being fed, sometimes being given drugs and told to shop because of their addiction to the drug. These things are happening in the community. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say to you, it's all good going to the police. It's all good doing that. You know what I'm saying? But there's exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, there's how many gangs in prison, many gang members in prison. They're thinking about doing crime when they come out. You know what? That person in the system, what I'm going to do? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say to you, the system is broken. You can't go to the Pharaoh of Egypt.
We know it's broken. Look out.
I'm making my case.
When we're trying to
making my case study.
Let me finish. Go ahead. Continue.
You might shake me hand yet.
Sorry?
You might shake me hand yet.
We'll see in there. You know what I'm saying? If you take a shahada, maybe. But like, so obviously. Let's take an example, you're going to the police. We know that the police, how corrupt they are. How many times a person has been killed in custody, there's no charge against that police officer? How many times? You know what I'm saying? How corrupt are the police? In my local borough, Edmonton, there's a police officer that stole money off people.
Brother, I have to stop you there because you are deflecting right now. Right? You're actually deflecting.
I'm not deflecting.
So I want to know.
I'm talking about why you can go to the police and talk about solutions.
The main thing in the British public is terrorism.
So I want to know,
and
right?
Child rape.
You had your patrols going on, right?
Yeah.
So you said that you actually approached, gangs that were doing drugs, correct?
Of course, yeah.
Now I want to know.
These are Muslim gangs.
Muslim gangs, right?
Yeah.
So what were you doing? What were you actually, when you confronted them, what were you doing?
Giving them warnings, innit? Saying, look, if you're back here again, it's going to be on, innit? One of the gang members actually said, you know what, Jazakallah khairan, he changed his whole life around.
Yeah.
One of them. And, a lot of things were happening, but Muslim mature is very premature, but I'm trying to say if it got to a big level where Muslims actually came out public, like in big groups, we don't have the unity in the Muslim community. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? You see in the park, you know, people come up to me and stuff like that. Yeah. Everyone's debating each other. So the number one thing in the Muslim community, which I would say, is there's no unity amongst the Muslims at the moment. If there was more of a unity, if people trusted each other, in prison. You know, there's people in prison that are getting said, let me stop you there. A shorter sentence if you start, you know, spying in the Muslim community. You know
Brother, let me stop you there because I don't want to go off track too much, okay? Yeah, so you're saying that you would approach these gangs, okay, and the leaders inside of the gangs, and then you will give them warnings, right? And then also...
No, I'm talking about the drugs. I'm talking about the drugs. The gang rape is different.
No, I'm talking about the drugs right now, right? So you give them warnings and
confiscate the drugs as well.
Confiscate the drugs.
Confiscate the drugs.
Okay, and then you give them type of intimidation to tell them not to do it. And how successful would you say that actually was? Very successful. And in terms of like the numbers of you guys who was actually patrolling the streets, like what were the numbers?
I can't just go through the numbers.
Okay, but if you was to give us a rough estimate.
If it was able to continue to today, it probably reached 1,000.
Okay, so when you say this was a grassroots thing that you guys were doing, so now don't you think that the police could do that at a much more larger scale?
No, because they got the money. They ain't got the money. How many times you see them crying like, oh, we need more money? You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you listen to the conversation that police are having, they're complaining about overtime. So they're just normal people like us. They're just working 9 to 5 just to feed their family. Just to, you know, they're not really, the heart's not really in it most of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why the Muslim community needs to do more, really. But as a society, you need to do more about the white people that are raping kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to...
Again, we're going off track. Again, we're going off track. But it's not as though that the Muslim community is disenfranchised in the UK. The Muslim community seems as though that they don't see themselves as...
Are you serious?
Hold on. Listen to me. In the Muslim community, it seems as though that they're not actually form that integration inside of the British... you know, inside of Britain itself. They don't seem they feel as though they're part of Britain. Would that be a fair summation of the British public? Sorry, the Muslim public.
Sorry. That we're not integrated.
Yeah, you're not integrated and you don't feel as though you're part of the British society.
I can't think of the...
Whatever you are, a nonce, you're a nonce. Touch kids up, you're a nonce. Jimmy Savile, Mohammed, you're a nonce. Done, innit? Easy.
It's pretty dead, you know what I'm saying?
It seems as though that
they have no basis. Like, for example, I speak to the guy about Britain, you know, who actually was the first people in Britain. Was it the white man? You know what I'm saying? So this culture stuff, or it's our country, I mean, let's go back in time, like, let's see who really is the country.
All I'm bothered about is nail this problem that we've got.
Yeah.
Because
it's more...
I've got no problem with you. I've got no problem with you. We seem to have a problem because we don't shake hands.
Have you got a problem?
Until that happens,
have you got a problem?
This don't go away.
Have you got the problem with the paedophile getting suspended sentences?
Yeah, well, to me, they ought to just castrate him straight away.
So why are you still promoting democracy then? Why are you promoting
I'm not supporting. I'd wipe this system from to scratch.
Alright, cool.
And I'd bring a new system in, and it to be people that care about the kids, not people who care about that community and that community. It's the children.
Do you think that the Muslim community will ever be integrated into mainstream British society?
I can't speak on behalf of Muslim community. I can't speak on behalf of...
Do you think you
could
potentially...
You can't even shake my hand. We've had a discussion, and you can't even shake my hand. And I'm like listening to your discussion. You were listening to mine.
Also, you come to me and said... You come to me and said, that's what paedophilia.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't make Jimmy Savile the fucking prince of fucking England, do we?
That is one of the insults that we know about.
And fucking...
You don't shake hands with your right hand.
Rolf Harris and all that.
It's insulting us.
Do we think...
You must think with that, they don't even understand that.
It's true, though,
and we know what the left one
British society as it stands.
What is British society?
I'm asking you, do you think you
is
can?
British society?
The normal society that are governed underneath the laws and values of Britain today.
It depends what you mean by that. What do you mean by British society?
Okay. So do you think that...
What, do you want me to accept democracy as the ruling superior system?
We don't want 15 deep on a fucking plane. Praying, mate. You've got mosques, right? And you fucking all lean on the pavement and no cunt can go past.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of...
do you know what I mean, though? You know what I mean?
I mean, I've always said as a Muslim that I'm campaigning for the Sharia, which is superior
but
to
we don't want the Sharia.
But do you
can have it in your community.
Do you follow
you don't use it against the people.
I'll have Sharia. All day long I'll have Sharia law. Come on, Monica, where's your Sharia law? You come on our state, you get your head kicked in.
Yeah,
Done.
of your God.
Innit?
The one you
who created you,
the one you
created you,
the one you
I
wish to
worship him.
follow, and we don't, and you want to keep your religion, but you want you condemn then kids getting raped. Yeah. But what have you done? What have you done to any in your community? What have you done to any in your community?
What is my community? What are you talking about?
The Muslim community.
What is my where? What are you talking about? I come from a certain space. I'm not
I don't know
around
what-
the UK. You're talking about Rotherham. Like I'm not in Rotherham, am I?
No, I'm on about the Muslim community.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah. So
Nearly
like I said to you,
everybody I know-
like I said to
I mean,
you,
are you Muslim?
like I said
He
to you,
shook me hand.
Listen, mate.
yeah, like I said to you, yeah.
No, he did a spud, he wouldn't shake me hand. So
The thing is,
you were
right,
converted.
if you're wherever you're from, if you're a paedophile, you're a paedophile, right? You should be young, drawn and quartered, and you fucking should. You know what I mean?
But he's trying to say to me I should report them to police so they get suspended sentence and come back out.
No, but you should report.
You know what I'm saying?
You should stand up and say, look,
I'm
if
not never gonna-
there was a
I'm not never
paedophile
gonna-
on my state,
What do
That is a
you
paedophile.
think of me then that's never going to become a Muslim?
Sorry?
What do you think of me that's never going to become a Muslim? I'm never going to bow down to
That's
Sharia
right. That's
law
up to
or any
you.
law.
That's you, innit? If you want to go to the hellfire, that's you, innit?
and Sharia law,
Obviously, I preach Islam, which is the ultimate solution. You know, the Prophet Muhammad is the last and final messenger, and the Quran is the evidence for you. So if you want to know the truth, read the Quran.
So what age group is it for a Muslim to have sex with children?
In the Quran, it's the final.
What age group? What age group?
There's no
Or is
spec-
it when the menstruate?
No.
That's fine.
There's certain conditions to a
Joe,
marriage.
right. You tell me. What you tell me?
This is a straw man. This is a straw man.
The age of
This
the
is a-
child can get married.
This is a straw man argument, yeah? Okay? Now, we're not talking about sex, we're talking about marriage.
We'll talk about marriage.
If you-
talk about marriage.
As a
you're
Muslim,
married,
if I'm
and the
Muslim,
fucking
Tell
9-year-old
me
girl,
what age.
have sex
mate.
before marriage is a punishment.
Tell me what age
Good fucking
well, I
God,
still call
man.
a child. A child could get married in your culture.
I don't mind
So
fucking...
what age do you say a woman can get married? What age?
What age? It's 16 in Scotland.
Okay.
Any age, right?
Are you saying the law of the land determines? Or are you saying it's
I'm saying the law of the land.
so it's subjective then? Because you go to different European countries.
Not
it's
of
not-
our land.
I'm
UK.
trying to say to you. I'm trying to say to you, like,
UK.
are you saying?
The law
Are you
in
saying?
the law in UK.
Alright, are you saying that these
But you
European
don't go
countries-
by the law
I'm
in
not-
UK. You go by
I'm trying to say. To
Sharia
you.
law, don't you?
No, that's where you got to mix up. Let me explain something to you. Yeah? When the Sharia is implemented on the land, okay, it takes certain things.
Yeah, but it's
let
not
me
implemented
let me
here,
say
mate.
something.
It
Yeah?
ain't
Let me
implemented.
say something.
What better if
And
I
if
go
it
Saudi
is,
Arabia and a
we'll
bunch
be
of
acting.
smugglers and all
Right,
that?
stop it.
Alright, listen to what I'm saying. Yeah? You've got two ears and one mouth. Yeah?
Yeah.
When the Sharia is implemented in any land, it takes into consideration, at a high degree, the norms of that society, the norms and etiquettes and culture of that society. It takes
But
that
you
in.
still haven't said what age.
Listen.
Them children
Listen.
can have sex.
Listen.
Or get
I'm
married.
coming to that. I'm coming to that. Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Bullshit, come on.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Yeah.
Fast forward.
I'm coming to that. Yeah. In different societies, women mature more in different countries. So, for example,
Yeah, but she was born in UK.
right, look here. I'm trying
She
to
was
say
born in
something.
A
UK.
13-year-old's got more on her fucking minge than a fucking 16-year-old where you come from. Boy, go for your beard, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's
Go on,
true,
we're
isn't
just-
it?
we're
That's
just
fucking
trying to
true,
say.
isn't it?
Sorry?
Under your laws,
Yeah.
it's
depends
way
on the-
younger than
no,
what
no.
it is on ours.
I'm trying to say to you, it
Your
depends on the
fucking laws is
society
different
that
to
we're
our
governed by.
fucking laws,
The
mate.
society that we're governed by is a big determination factor on the illegal age
So
for
you're
marriage.
never going to
The
bow
legal-
down to
listen,
UK law?
The legal age for
You're
marriage.
not going to bow down to UK law?
Sorry?
You're not going to bow down to UK law, which is the 16 in Scotland. 18
Never.
In Islam, the legal age
Yeah,
could be
but
even more
you
than
were on about
16.
Islam, I'm on about UK
England,
law.
mate.
Yeah, but it depends. You
The
can't-
UK law is UK law, and you're
Not
supposed to abide
not
by
every
it.
16 girl is the same, yeah? You understand that? Not every 16-year-old girl is the
Look,
same.
mate, we all
No, it don't
understand
matter
that.
whether she's
Right, we
16,
understand
she's
there's
still
16-year-old
even
girls that look
16
fucking
or
23,
Yeah.
right?
Alright, listen, yeah.
But
There's
you got to
three-
use that, mate,
There's three
not
main things.
fucking that.
There's three things that Allah is determined in the Quran about the age, the legal age for marriage. It's mentioned in chapter 4 of the Quran. Allah says,
They want us to have a smoke and chill out, mate. You know, it fucking does my nothing, man.
let me get the Quran.
No,
No, I don't
come
wanna
on,
see
I
that,
ain't got
mate.
no
Here, it is my... I'll get my Bible out.
You on live.
I'll get my Bible out,
He's
mate.
got to get a book out to,
Wait,
to quote to me.
I'll get my Bible out.
And open back the bag.
Hold on. I'll get my one out. This says Tommy Robinson is a hero because he's brought all this to light. And do you know what?
No, you're talking
If the establishment didn't lock Tommy up for what he did, this probably would have been covered up and carried on for years. But now, because they've done what they've done to Tommy Robinson, they've given people a bit of hope that if nothing's going to be done, people's not just going to sit down and let it happen like it has been. So that's the hope it's given us. And that's rallying people round. But obviously, now we're classed as right-wing extremists. Just for trying to stop the children getting raped. So that's how we are copying for it. Your lefties that were probably social workers.
But it's not down to fucking
So it's not about seeing, is it? It's not about
and
seeing.
it's not down to fucking God, is it?
If you investigate things, you'll know. If you don't investigate, you won't know. So if you never investigated about a creator,
There's no creator, mate.
Okay.
There's no fucking creator.
Is there a creator for the
Prove
phone?
it to me now where the creator is.
Is there a creator for
Knowing
this phone?
about what they knew about.
Did someone make this phone?
No, no one made. Yeah.
Yeah, someone made the phone.
No one
If
made
someone
us.
said, if someone said no one made this phone, would you say
We
that
come
person?
from fucking outer space, mate. That's where we come from. I'm telling you, honestly, your people and our people will never get on. Never, ever, 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 ever get on. Never. In my lifetime, we will never get on. There's no God. There's no fucking Muhammad. There's fucking bollocks, mate. You die, you fucking die. Where you go when you die? 52 virgins, 85 children, and goats, right? Right? That is sexual hang-ups, mate. That's not fucking religion, my old son. Do you know what I mean?
But we'll agree.
And I'm going.
We'll agree to disagree, and
You
we
love
can
all
never
this.
get on ever in a million years because of that. We
won't
will
shake your
never.
hand.
We will never.
won't shake your hand
We
'cause
will
you had
never
a piss,
become
mate.
friends.
Do you know what I mean?
We will never become friends because of
At
that.
the end of the
Why?
day,
You haven't even heard what I was saying.
You won't shake hand. So we can never ever become friends, can we?
I don't believe that.
You know what I
don't
mean?
believe the Bible, mate. Do you know what I mean? Jesus, God, Muhammad, Jehovah.
So we'll leave it at that because we can
Let 'em
never
all
ever satisfy this because you can never be my friend because we can never shake hands.
And it's a shame. And it's a fucking
It's a shame.
And it
Because
fucking is
I must
a shame.
admit, I like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be in a twat, but I don't like you because you're standing there and you're getting it like I can get. But you've got that difference with I haven't. If you know what I mean? And it's because of your religion. It's not because of my religion, it's because of your
Yeah, but
religion.
you've got no religion,
So-
mate. Have you got a religion? I've got no religion. I've got no religion. I don't give a fuck. There's no religion. There's no God,
to
nothing.
me, children don't
Should be
matter
left
in any
alone,
religion.
mate.
They come first.
At the end of the day, and it's the truth, mate. Right?
So we'll go nearest thing then.
Alright, cool.
Our friend.
Cool.
Our friend. Righto. Take care.
All three.
Okay, mate. Come on.
What channel is this?
MistaRax TV.
Mr. what?
Rax TV.
Mr. Rax, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, let me just quote the ayah I was going to recite to these
Alright,
people.
so Abdul Hakeem's about to quote some ayahs right now.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Nisa, verse, this is verse 6 of chapter 4, and this is regarding the legal age for marriage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وابتلوا اليتامى حتى إذا بلغوا النكاح فإن آنستم منهم رشدا فدفعوا إليهم أموالهم ولا تأكلوها وبدارا أن يكبروا ومن كان فقيرا فليستعفف ومن كان فقيرا Allah says ومن كان غنيا فليستعفف ومن كان فقيرا فليأكل بالمعروف فإذا دفعتم إليهم أموالهم فأشهدوا عليهم وكفى بالله حسيبا. Allah says, give unto the women their bridal gifts when they reach the marriageable age. So marriageable age, there's something called qati in Islam, which is something in usul of fiqh. This is something that is definite ruling, and there's something called indefinite meaning, which means it's speculative. So it can be determined. So marriageable age depends on the specific woman. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to continue what is marriageable age. Allah says, فَإِنْ آنَسْتُم مِّنْهُمْ رُشْدًا, and if you see in them wisdom, rushda and wisdom. So for example, if you was to give a woman a certain amount of money, like when someone's able to be wise about their spending, wise about their being, this is wisdom. So it depends on the age of that particular woman. Oh yeah, I forgot. فإن آنستم منهم رشدا فدفعوا إليهم أموالهم ولا تأكلوها وبدارا أن يكبروا. So Allah continues. So Allah says the criteria is balagh, is they have to be marriageable age.
They have to reach the age of puberty.
They have to reach the age of puberty. Yeah, they have to reach the age of puberty and have to have wisdom. And obviously in Islam, the wali is the one who marries the daughter off, and obviously it includes the dowry in that marriage. So these people are saying about paedophilia. Paedophilia is a totally different thing, where you're actually taking advantage of young, vulnerable women, and it's like you're doing this, like what these pedophiles are doing, subhanAllah. And obviously in different lands, for example, and there's a certain land, a marriageable age for a woman might be 19, it might be 21, But obviously in that time, the Prophet Muhammad married Aisha radiallahu anha. He was a miracle for mankind, and the Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose her.
Wait a minute.
Allah chose her. Even if you look in
brother, can I just quickly interrupt you on that, because this is the problem. This is where the non-Muslim world, right, is seeing that there is a problem. There is a direct correlation, right, and it seems as though that these child grooming gangs are being, on these Muslim or South Asian child grooming gangs are being influenced by the doctrines of Islam, right? Because they're seeing that their prophet, their most beloved figure in Islam itself, married a 9-year-old child, had sexual relationships with a 9-year-old child. You think what I'm saying? So if that is actually present within inside of Islam, right, is this the thing that's actually influencing these Muslims to actually look at girls, young girls, to actually go to the act of actually having sexual relationships with them and grooming them?
Okay, so this is something that I've spoken to the white people about, that a person who's practicing Muslim, wouldn't do this stuff. It's usually people that are drinking. That's why you find that people that groom girls, they're not praying 5 times a day. They're drinking alcohol. They're selling drugs. They're doing all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this we need to put a stop to. And this correlation that people are trying to bring with Islam is totally wrong. It's totally illogical. And even if you look at,
it's not wrong and illogical though. It's part of the.
I told you the criteria. The criteria. There's marriage.
Definitely, but it's part of like a deviant Muslim culture. Right? Of course, I'm gonna be with you there, Like Islam and Muslims, or Islam doesn't teach you to go ahead and groom young girls. It doesn't teach that at all. But what's happening is that these Muslims are being influenced by the doctrine.
Where's your evidence?
Hold on, let me finish with you. Let me finish with you. They're being influenced, by the doctrines of Islam, and they're also being influenced by the culture of the UK.
Okay,
and because of their deviant ideology or their deviant behavior, they're thinking to themselves that these young girls are acceptable as a part of their culture. Number one, it's acceptable for them to have relationships with these individuals, right? Number two, right, they're viewing these girls as kuffar, meaning like they are the worst of creatures. They're even less than cattle, right? According to Islamic theology, right? So they're being bred with these ideologies in their head. And of course, they're not really great or practicing Muslims, because they're drinking, they're doing drugs and so forth. So again, it's part of this UK subculture that they're part of. But all of these factors are accumulating and combining together for them to actually perpetrate this type of violence, perpetrate this type of crime on these young girls. You're not agreeing or you disagree?
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is obviously subjective to you. I haven't seen any evidence where a man has said, look, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z. This is the thing this is a narrative of the media, it's a narrative of Tommy Robinson. These things are totally evil. It's like a man drinking alcohol and trying to say, look, in Islam, Muslims were allowed to drink alcohol. It's like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? No Muslim has even said that. So this narrative is wrong. In Islam, we don't preach this. Like I gave the narrative, clear cut in Islam. Okay, the marriageable age. Anyone who studied Islam will know about marriage, how it's conducted. And anyone who studied Islam will know that sex before marriage is wrong.
But Aisha
So sex before marriage
didn't reach the marital age according to these hadiths, according to Bukhari, according to Sahih Muslim and so forth. She did not reach the marriageable age. Do you understand that?
You have to debate people in this, innit? Obviously, my understanding is that she had reached marriageable age.
What about her reached marriageable age to you?
What do you mean what about her reached marriageable age?
Okay, like if you look at a
So the
nine-year-old,
Prophet
if you look at a 9-year-old,
against the Quran.
if you look at a 9-year-old today, do you think that she is of marriageable age?
We're going back. You have to ask me 1,400 years ago.
No, there is no difference between 1,400 years ago and now. It's still the same thing. The Prophet is an example, according to Islam, is an example for all times and all ages, correct? Is that correct? I'm asking you.
Continue, yes.
Right? So you as a Muslim follow the sunnah of the Prophet. You follow the ways of the Prophet, right? So if the Prophet was found acceptable to marry a 9-year-old, like who are you to say that's not acceptable today?
We're talking about agreement.
Yeah, I know, but I'm showing you what type of psyche these people are with. For example, when we're on roads, when we're in streets, like I've grown up like Brixton, Streatham. Hold on, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Brixton, Streatham, Croydon, all these areas, right? We had loads of Muslims. We had loads of Muslim gangs around, right? And it was more like a thing of where, yeah, we can rob, but we can only rob the kuffar. We can sell drugs, but we can only sell drugs to the kuffar. This was the ideology I'm talking about on a street level amongst the Muslims and the gangs in Islam, right? And I'm talking, you can go through to Brixton, Peckham, Streatham, Croydon, all of these areas, yeah? This ideology was very prevalent. And you can't tell me that I'm pretty sure that, you know, the Muslims watching right now, or the non-Muslims watching right now, who grew up in these ends, right? Or grew up in these areas can confirm this is an actual truth. Are you going to say that's a lie?
Okay. Like I said before, the problem, these are straw man arguments, because like I said, there's paedophiles in the MPs, there's paedophile in the church. The main problem is the system. Okay, the system that's allowing, like for example, you're advocating people going to police and stuff like that, but these people are getting suspended sentences and not getting the true punishment that they deserve. So the problem is the system at large. The system is failing the people. The system has failed to protect these women. That's the ultimate protection. There's no protection there. Like the guy said, you know, women were going to the councils at Rotherham and they were getting disregarded, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem. You know, it's deeper than what you're trying to.
We have a blame. We have a
because like you will obviously appreciate.
Yep.
There is Sikh grooming gangs. There's white grooming gangs, white man grooming gangs. There's other cultures that are doing these things. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot label this on the Muslim community. Say it's because of what.
So exactly that. There is other gangs that are doing these things, and we're not going to deny it. We're going to say we're going to condemn all of those groups. Yeah. But right now, we should not be deflecting. We should deal with what we're discussing right now, which is the South Asian, specifically Muslim grooming gangs. Right. There are Muslim grooming gangs around the world, right? But we're talking about specifically the South Asian grooming gang, probably in the UK. Right? Can we agree to that? Can we agree to that? At least there is a problem.
Continue what you're saying.
All right. So before you do that, right? So I'm saying to you that, of course, there's a lot of things inside of Islam and inside of British culture that is impacting on these individuals to do these type of atrocities. And it seems though that you want to like leave out.
You said earlier about Muslims integrating into British culture.
Yeah.
But British culture is embedded in paedophilia. Didn't King Henry marry a 9-year-old girl?
I don't know.
Which King Henry?
King Henry VIII, I believe.
There's quite a lot of King Henry.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of King Henry.
Okay. So again, what we're doing is deflecting.
If you look at British,
we're not actually dealing with the problem.
Paedophilia in this country is epidemic amongst the white person. You know what I'm saying? The white guy. Yeah. So what's this culture promoting? It's promoting. Like if you look at what one police officer said, the constable. Yeah. He said that the paedophilia epidemic is so big in this country that we cannot control it. Okay. That's why you have these paedophile hunters going around, you know, catching paedophiles. Because they're like, you know, we need to do something about this situation.
Indeed.
It's got peak.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And predominantly, you find it amongst the white community.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say to you is we can do what paedophile hunters are doing. We can do some, you know, grooming hunters and stuff like that. Yeah, we can do that. But I'm saying the root of the problem is the system. Okay. Because once you report these people, I've seen people get suspended sentences for these kind of stuff. All right. So the root of the problem, because people, if someone's got a fetish, like someone says he's gay, but 60 years ago, If you said he was gay, you're gay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was wrong. It was wrong back in the day, but now it's okay.
Okay.
Sooner or later, in America, paedophilia is legalized.
All right.
You
So
know what I'm
whilst
saying?
we're trying to change the system, right? What can we do as a people to take
Do you agree with that
responsibility?
though?
What can we do as a people
Do you
to
agree
take
the system's
responsibility?
problem? Do you agree that's a problem?
What is?
The system.
Depends on what aspect of the system is the problem. Like what?
Essential to the problem of grooming.
Sorry?
Essential to the problem of grooming and paedophilia in this country.
The system.
Yeah.
So can you highlight what about the system? The
So
system is
the
very broad.
whole aspect there's no protection for, like the guy said, there's many cases where women have, like children have been taken away, for example, and they've taken away from loving homes and put into environments where they have been abused.
Yeah.
You know, so the system is wrong on the social care level. It's wrong on the in the case of sending people to prison. You know what I'm saying? You have people that have been sent to prison and come out and done the same offence. The care system, I'm talking about the prison system as well. There's one woman actually, I think last year or the year before, she killed a paedophile and she was sent to prison because he kept going on what he was doing. Like, there's no protection really for people.
My thing is, all right, we know the system.
So I'm asking you a direct question: is the system a problem?
Okay, let's just simply say this, right?
Sorry?
Sentencing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not the sentencing. I'm talking about all the dynamics.
So let's just say all the dynamics here. We need to change that. It's flawed, whatever the case is.
No,
right?
I'm saying.
But I'm asking you, what can we do as a people? Because a lot of the time we're always blaming things. We're blaming the systems. Anything that doesn't actually, cannot be held physically accountable for something. We always blame other people.
If I punch you in your face,
what I'm saying to you now,
blame?
what I'm saying to you right now,
if I punch you in the face, you're gonna blame.
Who I'm gonna blame is myself, and then I'm gonna blame you. And the reason why I'm gonna blame myself here is I know I should not be standing next to you. That's why. Yeah. All right. So that's why.
That's a bad example.
So I want to say, like, how can we as a people take responsibility, right? How can you as a Muslim, how can the Muslim community take responsibility for a problem that's actually occurring inside of their community? You think what I'm saying? So I'm asking you, I can easily go ahead and ask the Sikh community and the white community, right? What can you do as a people, as a community, to prevent other people coming into your community and abusing your children? I can easily ask them that question, right? And I've been saying these things on my channel as well. So I'm asking you as a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
As a representative of the Muslim community, what can you do? Because your community right now is failing.
Yeah. So like I said before, it's a unity issue. Yeah. There's a language barrier with most of these people that are doing these crimes, and a lot of things we are blaming the Muslim community. But if you look at the demographics of the individuals themselves, either they're not practicing or they're just Asian. They're not. Their religion is not really, their religion's not Islam. It's just from they happen to be from Asia. So there's a problem.
I don't know about that.
There's a problem.
I think the record states that they
there's a problem with how it's been labelled. There's a problem with that issue as well. Like I said before, the main problem is a societal issue. So it's about educating. First of all,
don't give me that. I just want to know about the community. What can we do?
First of all, it's unity. Like I said, what you said, unity.
Okay.
There has to be unity. There has to be a trust. There's a trust issue that is lost in the Muslim community. You have people that are spying in the masjids and stuff like that. There's no trust in the Muslim community. Yeah? No one trusts anyone. No one wants to come, unite against these people. Like I said, the Muslim Patrol was still around. There'll be thousands of people on board, sorting out these issues. But there's no actual effort. And people are the agenda that's been spearheaded is just I don't know, like call the police or just stay quiet.
So basically, you're an advocate for the Muslim Patrol, right? So would the
Muslim community?
I want to know, would the Muslim community or the Muslim Patrol actually work hand in hand with community support officers, police officers, to get training, to get some type of?
There's no trust in the police.
So there's no trust. So there's never going to be any form of integration. So what it seems though is going to be like, it's going to be like a Muslim protection racket. It's going to be a Muslim gang policing the streets. And I think, don't you think? I personally would actually, I would be in a bit of a fear of a Muslim patrol. To be honest with you, a Muslim gang patrol, I would be in fear of that because it doesn't seem that you have my best interest in the hand.
Are you a coward?
Or the community's best
interest? Are you a coward?
No.
So why are you saying you'd be scared?
Because
it doesn't make sense.
It seems
you're not a coward.
Yeah, it seems as though that you may misuse your power, which it seems as though, as you said earlier on, you were misusing your power. You were giving gangs warnings and intimidating people. You dig what I'm saying? That's what you said. You said you was intimidating. Hold on. You said you was intimidating people. So I'm saying, as a person who is a non-Muslim, and I'm walking in these areas, right? And I may be doing something that you particularly don't like, right? And there is a big horde of you guys. I would feel some form of fear. I would feel as though I need to have my back up against the wall and see what's going on and kind of analyze the situation.
You're clutching at scores here.
Go ahead.
You said the solution for the grooming gangs, and you're talking about other things.
You said the
Muslim patrol to deal specifically, okay, with grooming gangs. Yeah, that's what should happen with these kind of situations. Okay. But also, there is other epidemics that people are not focusing on. Like I mentioned, that there's institutional paedophilia that's happening, and this kind of stuff. But what I'm trying to say to you, Kalam, you are not being consistent, because I'm saying to you, there's a problem on the base root level. Okay. Yeah, there's a problem on the root, so we can't ignore that. Okay. We can't just go to branches. There's a people need to be educated.
Yeah. Good.
What's up? I collapsed.
He's been there for time, though. He's been there for time. Don't worry about that. He's been there for time. It's because, my brother, I just want to speak on like a community level. That's really what I want to speak on. Because if we go everywhere else, we're never going to actually take responsibility for ourselves and try to actually solve the problem. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know how exactly a Muslim patrol would catch these grooming gangs in the act. Like, and personally, I wouldn't want a Muslim patrol. For example, a lot of these gangs are actually targeting schools. And I personally don't think that a Muslim patrol would be welcomed outside of schools.
How do you know it would operate in a gang? How do you know? How would
I'm saying the Muslim patrol, okay, there's going to be a number of individuals patrolling, right?
Operations don't need a lot of people. Operations, like you separate, you scatter, you know what I'm saying? But obviously the main situation, like I said to the guy, I don't know if you got it, was that it starts at home. These women, why are they going out late at night? Wait, listen, there is, because we need to keep an eye on where our children are going. You know what I'm saying? Because many of these gangs, what they do, it can be tracked by, it should be tracked by their parents. It should be tracked by their community.
Okay, so for example, when a girl leaves,
that's where it starts.
When a girl leaves the school gate, right, and she's walking to the bus stop, and she's approached by an older gentleman, right, and starts conversating with her, like, you cannot blame the parents for that. You can't even blame the school for that, right? So we now need to start saying, like, these men need to be educated or re-educated properly, that this is not acceptable, or these individuals need to be taken away from the streets, right? These little girls, they're going to the town center to do shopping. They're approached by these older gentlemen. Oh, I'll buy you that, no problem. Okay, that's how it begins to start. It starts.
But that's
the girl can say, I'm now going to my friend's house for a sleepover, and the guy now comes, picks her up, and takes her elsewhere.
Is that only so-called Muslim grooming gangs that are doing
this? Can happen with any form of grooming gangs, regardless of Muslim or non-Muslim, right? Yeah. But we're talking about the Muslim community right now. If we were speaking with like the white community or the black community about the issues, we'd be speaking to them about their issues. We would not be skating around to other issues. Let's stick to the point itself and stop deflecting.
How did these cases get broken? Do you know how these cases actually came to light? I believe these cases.
The journalists.
Yeah,
a lot of it, by the journalists, by the care workers.
A lot of women were reporting these things, but they were getting ignored.
They were, yeah.
So you can't blame, the blame has to start. That's what I'm saying. The blame has to start with the government. You're saying don't blame the government.
The blame has to start with the individual, because it's the individual that is perpetuating the crime. Why are we going to blame the government for a person's
You misunderstand what I'm saying. The government, is the one who's going to enforce the punishment on the individual. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like the punishment and the solutions that the government are bringing to these kind of acts is not working. It's not working, and it's not a solution, because we see that they get light sentences, they come out and they do the same thing again. You know what I'm saying? So, like you did touch on it a bit. You said that these people that do these crimes, they should get lost, basically. I'm for that. You know what I'm saying? If someone's gonna do these kind of acts, they shouldn't be around anyone. And they need to be. Yeah, I mean, you re-educated, but if someone's a paedophile, I don't think you can re-educate that individual. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying, if someone's gonna molest kids, I don't think that's re-educated.
Somebody asked it earlier on, and I want to make sure I actually get this couple questions out. Is it true that you want Islam, or should I say Sharia, in this country? No doubt. And why is it that you don't actually want to go and live in a Sharia-run country?
No, I didn't say that. I don't want to.
Okay, so why don't you go to another country outside of the UK that is already established in Sharia? Why don't you do
that? There's certain things that I would need to do that. But yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to live under Islam.
Would you encourage other Muslims that think like you to go to Muslim lands?
You know, there was a lot of UKIP here, and UKIP, one of UKIP's policies was they wanted to actually give the Muslims, the green pass, money, etc., to go and live under Islam. So this is something that is good. If I was allowed to vote, I'd vote for UKIP. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, hold on. I need you to repeat that. All the cameras zoom in right now, yeah? Listen, go ahead. Say that again.
They might end up hiring you. Our newest spokesperson and the first Anjan Chowdhury supporter voting UKIP.
First of all, he came out today in support of Tommy Robinson. Abdul Hakeem, Abdul Hakeem, Anjan Chowdhury, friend and supporter, came out to support Tommy Robinson, to say that it was an injustice that Tommy Robinson was actually found guilty and was in prison, that Tommy Robinson never actually committed any crime. Abdul Hakeem, Anjan Chowdhury supporter, and now he's also saying that he would vote for UKIP. I wonder if Tommy Robinson was actually the leader of UKIP, he may just vote for him, and everybody like him. Yeah. So if you guys, Muslims out there who want to live in a Sharia-run government, you want Sharia, right? Go and vote for UKIP. You'll get that green card to go where you need to go to, and you even get a little change as well. Trust me, I'll even support that as well. I even donate some money for that. Oh man.
Are you pro-UKIP?
I'm not even a political person, to be honest.
Very mellow, and they're a bit younger. So I'm just saying. I obviously I don't want to see Sharia, but I like it when the three of you.
The Three Musketeers. He's saying you misses the Three Musketeers.
I thought it was better. Well, don't you think it's better with the three of them? The two of them, they're all right. But they're a bit younger than him, and he's quite mellow, isn't he?
Which three? Suleiman and
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Bilal?
I do like them. I don't dislike them.
It's funny,
I'm not trying to say don't go, Hakeem. You're on our watch list.
Obviously, I do a couple of things with content, you know what I'm saying. But as far as going to the park, it's a bit touch and go. Like, I'm actually hell bent on not going back. But if something does come up,
you don't really want
this one or that one?
Sorry?
You really don't want to go back.
No, I think my time's done there. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Go on.
I understand, obviously, you're an Anjan Chowdhury supporter. So I know you get this all fucking day. He's a friend.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he kind of pushes a kind of sect of Islam that's a little bit more hardcore than most Muslims. Aren't you kind of afraid that you're going to misrepresent the more moderate Muslims who just kind of want to live in British law?
Oh, man.
It was the eye in the triangle, that's the one.
You know where he's there, G. You know where he's there. Chase!
You say, what you want for the rest of the day, though?
Oh, man.
Okay, right now, and just did their own thing, just live life how it is.
In my 5, I've actually got to go and meet up with the Illuminati. Then after the Illuminati, I'm going to actually...
Jay-Z?
No, the Jews actually. And then I'm going to be taking over the world. That's literally it. That's it.
It's going to be used as propaganda to... honestly, you should read the comment section. It's very disgusting. And aren't you worried that what you've just done is kind of... make England and Black Britain kind of, no offence, look bad.
The thing is, you got to understand.
We want to repopulate the land with
with
intelligent speech.
What's going to happen? The people are going to hate Islam. Are going to hate Islam.
That's the very first commandment in the Bible. Go forth and multiply.
There's many terrorist attacks that have been blamed on the Muslim community that have not.
They're not going to make it.
Muslims themselves. If you look at 7/7, the ripple effects. Who's behind that?
No. They wipe themselves out.
Yeah. If you look at one of the so-called
that's what we do.
Yeah.
This is the cleansing process right now. That's why a lot of us have stepped back from speaking school.
It was too late for the train.
There is a cleansing process. All of the low IQ individuals, they will literally get rid of themselves.
How is he going to get shot at the
situations and they get rid of themselves?
You know what I'm saying? At 9/11, they said they found a passport at the scene. Like,
so it's all nonsense. It's all operational.
What we need, what I'm thinking is that look, the media have said something that's a blatant lie, and they're not saying, they're not going back and saying, we made a mistake.
Yeah, the media have.
Then come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. And they blamed it on certain people that haven't. So there's something sinister going on in the background. obviously I'm not privy to that actually what
it's going
actually
to be safe
happened,
to go back
but
even
I can
before
definitely say for certain.
It's always going to be
Muslims
safe.
weren't involved in that.
But we just want to make sure
I can
it's
say for
cleansed
certain,
properly.
I don't believe they were involved in that.
The more
And
that we
obviously
are
anyone who
actually
speaks like that
sending,
is
the more
called
that we're giving them life.
conspiracy theorists. I do believe some things were. Some conspiracy theories have been totally illogical. Like someone said the Lee Ripley attack didn't happen.
I think there's a great deal of evidence that the people who did 9/11 were Saudi Wahhabis who were very hard, very hardcore sect of Islam.
Have you heard Abu Hamza?
So we're going to plant the right seeds, and you're going to start seeing people's corners start flourishing.
The one I used to
Abu Hamza?
in Finsbury Park.
Yeah, Finsbury, yeah.
Yeah, I filmed him for 3 years.
Yeah. Did you hear him say about 9/11? What he said about the towers dropping?
That's what you got to do. Look out for the
He used to
fruits.
preach against terrorism all the time.
Yeah.
I sent evidence to his
Zombie.
trial in New York.
Zombie, the walking dead.
He
Literally
spoke
the
against
walking
terrorism
You
very
see it, like,
frequently
you just see
in
a
this
whole-
country. He's
What it
like-
is, if you look at people like Abu Qatada as well,
Yeah.
it's not really. It's just that they're very known in it, very loved by the community.
Yeah,
I don't want someone like that.
No one in on
Amy. Who else? Tan. The Walking Dead, man. That's what you're seeing.
You don't have to tell me what it is. Has Calgary got a release date?
Say that again?
Is there a release date for it?
Yeah, there's a release date, October.
Tell him, give me a shout, Dave Bones. I'm on the same number.
Dave Bones.
Yeah, he knows who I am. He used to call me to come and film his scenes.
Okay.
Like,
I can't even release that type of information right now.
I'm saying, is that the type of fruit that we're looking to see once the purge is
No,
done?
no, that's not the type of fruit.
So they're to get washed out as well.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. They're playing their part, right? They're playing their part. They're playing their part. That's what
I
they're
don't know
doing
exactly what they're gonna say.
They're literally
Might say
the hoes or the hacks right
it's only
now.
until his license.
So they're just hacking away right now. Hacking away.
Yeah.
Mad thing. We saying they're the necessary.
They'll probably drop some on the way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to say that, but yeah, they are. They are.
What are you saying? Hey, let's get some questions in for Calam, man. We ain't done a Q&A for Calam, you
Buying
know.
and selling and stuff.
What's the question saying?
I was buying and selling stuff. I was watching these guys again.
Oh, man.
I hope to have an